There is no doubt that the 1000cc V4 of the Aprilia RSV4 is one of the most exotic and successful engines on the recent motorcycle scene. Its 65-degree V-angle makes it unique. This layout, though incorrect in view of the laws that define the primary and secondary order balance of a V4 engine, has proven to be an excellent compromise. The Aprilia V4 gave up some mechanical efficiency for superior rationality and efficiency in the overall design of the whole motorcycle. This was obvious in the dominance that the Aprilia RSV4 established in the Superbike World Championship. This resulted from a number of factors, including excellent electronics and a cassette-type gearbox that enabled the RSV4 to promptly optimize transmission ratios, while all others were stuck with what they had. The new rules that came in force in 2015 have denied these advantages, and Aprilia has reinvested its Superbike experience into a new adventure, MotoSports. It's a daring move that was anticipated 2 years ago with the creation of an RSV4-based CRT racer for privateers that proved to be the best performer of the class. The 2015 racing season sees two opposite faces of the Aprilia racing program, the new Aprilia MotoSports racer paddling hard upstream, and the RSV4 Superbike of Leon Haslam still challenging for wins. In reality, the Aprilia MotoSports and SBK bikes sprout from the same basic RSV4 engine, castings included. The major updating to the GP version is revised bore and stroke measurement. They went from 78mm x 52.3mm to 81mm x 48.5mm, while also adopting pneumatic valves and much wilder cam grinds. Next year, the MotoSports engine will no longer be based on the production RSV4 since it will feature a slightly wider V-angle, presumably around 75 degrees. This good compromise will preserve the advantage of being more compact than a 90-degree V4, while improving the mechanical efficiency of the engine by reducing its primary and secondary imbalance and the significant efficiency losses that come at the 16,000-plus RPM a MotoGP engine reaches today. Even at 90 degrees, a V4 is not perfectly balanced, but that layout achieves the highest level of balance in both primary and secondary order and is the one preferred by pure motorists such as Ducati, who would never sacrifice organic efficiency for anything. Back to the RSV4 engine. Aprilia R&D was perfectly aware that it still had a lot of horsepower up its sleeves to make available for various versions of the production bike. In fact, the new RSV4 RR edition reaches a claimed 201 horsepower, which is 16 horsepower more than the previous one. Aside from the unchanged 78mm x 52.3mm bore and stroke, almost everything else about the engine was revised, starting with the cooling. Advanced CNC tooling now accurately machines the inlet and exhaust runners and the combustion chambers, for much improved consistency and a higher performance level. Compression ratio has been increased from 13.01 to 13.61, and the titanium inlet valves have grown in diameter from 32 to 33 mm. Also, the 26mm exhaust valves are now titanium. The included valve angle remains at the previous 22 degrees, 10 plus 12 degrees. Camshaft profiles are totally new, as are the valve springs and inverted cap cam followers. Also, the inertia of the crank rods assembly has been drastically reduced by almost 2 full pounds, 850 grams, by adopting forged Pankel connecting rods and by reducing the diameter of the crank journals from 39 to 36 mm. The main end journals remain unchanged at 46 mm. Given the very short stroke, this move did not reduce the rigidity of the very solidly dimensioned crankshaft, while specific load capacity of the rod bearings remains well above ultra-safe margins. On the other hand, the significantly reduced inertia of the crank assembly means the engine revs quickly at every throttle opening. Throttle bodies come in 48mm bore size and a variable height to escort volumetric efficiency to its best level through the widest possible range of revs. Each throttle body includes 2 injectors, one at the top and one close to the inlet valves. All told, The new RSV4 RR powerplant is a terrific engine, one that generates a claimed 201 horsepower at 13,000 RPM with 84 pound and 80 pence-feet of peak torque at 10,500 RPM. The new Tuono 1100 Aprilia's new 1100cc Tuono is a less sophisticated engine, but it gets excellent numbers with great ease and at a price. The basic move is the adoption of the 81mm bore being used on the motorbike. If Leon Haslam should come up short against the ultra-strong Jonathan Rea/Kawasaki ZX-10R combination, I would expect that Aprilia might switch to the newer 81mm x 48.5mm RSV4 unit and get another 1000 RPM and related extra horsepower. The 1100 Tuono shares the same 52.3mm stroke complete with smaller diameter crankpin journals and panel rods, for a crank assembly reduced in inertia by those same 850 grams that also benefit the RSV4 RR unit. The Tuono 1100 uses stainless steel valves that are the same size as those previously used on the RSV4 factory, 32mm inlet, 26 meters exhaust. The 48mm throttle bodies have fixed geometry, optimized for mid-range response, and fed by one injector each. For some mysterious reason, Aprilia did not release the compression ratio, but do not expect anything below 12:1 given the very compact combustion chamber profile. This unstressed Tuono engine delivers a claimed 175 horsepower at 11,000 RPM, and a very healthy 89 pound and 20 pence-feet of torque at 9,000 RPM. In my opinion, Aprilia should focus on this new engine and offer a whole range of dressed-in semi-dress sport models that share the same great RSV4 RR chassis. I'd like these bikes to be just a little more comfortable and friendlier in riding posture, lower seat height, lower pegs and so on, while also being a great pleasure to ride on any road or track.